Here we
All
are,
right.
episode 72. And what do we have? Oh, okay. So I think, this has always been on and off in the news, but we have some numbers. Perplexity offered to buy Google Chrome. And I think this goes back to the Justice Department suing Google, wanting to break them up. And then a lot of 13 filings out this week. The most anticipated one. I didn't realize this, but apparently everybody's anticipating like there's a secret company that Berkshire has been buying. And that secret company was kind of boring. UNH. So talk a little about that. Stock market, why not? It's been turbulent, all-time highs yet again. And yeah, here we go.
There's a lot going on in the month of August.
Yeah.
A lot going on with the market, crypto. I was texting you a bunch about crypto over the last month, and I made a good move there right before it popped up. I sold out of it.
I was going to ask. I
Up.
was like, what? That was a good yellow. Hope you sold out before it turned around.
I sold out of it. Basically, I was texting Tony over the month because I saw Ethereum starting to rise, and I kind of got a little bit of FOMO. At the same time, I was still at a point where it was around the same price that I sold it all last month. I think it was like at the 3,900 range. And then from there, it went all the way to almost 4,800. And I had a sell limit order. I think the level was like 48.12 is where I saw the projected price target to get to. It never got there and pulled back at the end of last week about 5-6% to about 4,400, 44. That's where I sold out of it again, thinking that I was going to drop down. And so now I'm just watching it. It's been hovering around that 4,400 to 4,500 range. I'm waiting for it to drop down to about 41. And that's when that's my price target to actually go full port again.
Really?
I think that's the middle bounce. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least, Tom Lee's out there shilling Ethereum, so that's probably why it's like taking off with his Bitmine, BMNR, Bitminer.
Yep.
I think that's the fund's name.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's been a crazy run in crypto at the moment. It was above 200. I was like, wow.
Not all-time highs, but high in the last like 180 days.
Yeah, it's still got $80 more to get to like 280. It was like around its all-time high. But yeah, no, I'm still fully out. I just haven't been paying attention to it. I just think crypto has lost its way.
I should pull up the B-roll though and to my episode where I was talking about Ethereum.
You should.
And like I was all bullish on Ethereum.
Yeah.
I think it gets to, I mean, I still think at some point it gets to 10,000.
It could. I mean, there's a lot of corporate institutional money flowing in. And so it's like, the crypto market, yes, it was like what, 3-4 trillion before, I guess, all the hype. And so, I mean, it's not a small market, but relative to all the big money,
yeah,
it's like, it's not that much, right? And so it's easy for them to push these things higher than retail has been able to in the past.
Yeah.
And so I wonder, like, I keep expecting the crypto winter, but I wonder how severe it'll be just because there's so much institutional money at this point. It kind of outweighs like the retail investment. And so maybe there isn't crypto winter anymore. But I'll be interested to see, because if there is an actual winter, these like Bitmine or MicroStrategy, yeah, we get pummeled.
I mean, or they just buy more. That's what happened in the last winter.
Or they just buy more. We'll see.
Yeah, and the stock market obviously was doing its thing, but had a little bit of a pullback towards the end of last week because of the PPI data and the consumer confidence data. Basically, it's been pumping because of the original CPI data that came in less than expected. And so the thoughts of the Fed reducing rates was more optimistic. But then once the PPI data, which is the producer price index, came out as hot, now we're starting to see these tariffs, affect these businesses and suppliers,
Yeah.
which the theory is going to get passed down to the consumer,
Hmm.
which increases inflation, and thus the
Yeah.
Fed still can't lower rates.
Yeah. I think CPI was kind of showing this. I know a lot of people were playing it off like, oh no, look, it's like it's a little bit down. But if you look at like the actual breakdown of CPI, some of the things that matter, were, the prices were increasing. But again, we'll see. A couple of the Fed chairs were out, after these numbers, saying it's like, it could be a one-time thing, or we still don't know. There's still no pressure for us to drop rates, even though we expect, we might drop it one time, but we'll see how the data plays out because, tariffs really haven't been in effect until like, the past month even.
Well,
Just
Trump keeps,
because
delaying them.
keeps delaying them. And so we've talked about tariffs, but their actual impact, it hasn't been fully felt yet. And so I think that's why the Fed is a bit hesitant, even though they predict it's a one-time thing. We're starting to see signs, right, of prices increasing. Manufacturers and companies are talking about, the impact these tariffs are having. Like Apple put out a statement like last week. It's like this upcoming quarter, they expect like $1.1 billion in tariff cost expense, and that's just Apple. Think about all the small businesses out there who just can't find their products in the US to be built, right? Anyways, yeah, so we'll see. It's a long game in that we'll see how the tariffs actually impact that.
Yeah.
But I notice things are more expensive, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it's kind of crazy.
Bought eggs yesterday. It was $11 for eggs,
Oh,
for a
really?
dozen eggs.
I feel like that's just like a West Coast thing. Like here where I am, a dozen eggs, it's still like $7.
Mm. And then I saw a friend of mine posting something on their Facebook stories
Mm-hmm.
of tracking inflation through the cost of a French dip at a restaurant.
Oh.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think it was like 5 years ago, $16.
Mm-hmm.
And today it's $23.
Wow. Yeah. But no, even things like, I feel like I've mentioned this before, like soap. It's a lot easier to track how much I've paid for stuff now that I've only buy stuff on Amazon, right? So I just go back and say, oh, you previously bought this,
Yeah.
whatever, a year ago. And I was like, yeah, literally soap has gone up like 100%. It's crazy. Just think about that. 100%. Like wages don't go up 100% a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so yeah, it's kind of scary to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. I think something's going to crack, and the market is due for a heavy pullback,
Oh,
only going up for the last few months.
yeah.
So my strategy, and this is not investment advice, financial advice. We're not accredited financial
It's for
licensed
entertainment
accountant,
purposes.
entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Disclaimer. But for me, I'm continuing to just like trim little by little every week or so and add positions to those companies that I kind of feel like are very low right now,
Hmm.
like On shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of TTD. Even though it had that pop it down again,
Man,
I actually am increasing my position there.
are you really?
Yep.
I forget. There was a headline on TDD that's just like I was like, oh no, this is not good news. It was after the fact too.
I think the only
So
reason why I'm doing that is because I saw Kathy Woods buy it heavy when it
see, to
dropped
me,
down.
okay, that's not a good thing.
No
Having
way.
stars buying a stock.
Anyways,
I've
yeah.
been there, done that with TDD, and so no more. It's
Although
been
last time
removed.
you would have made out.
That's true.
This
My
is the second
biases taken
opportunity,
through.
Tony.
Yes, I know.
All right, let's move on then. You want to cover the first one?
Yeah, so let's see. Oh yeah, Perplexity. So unsolicited offer to Google to buy Chrome. It was almost $35 billion to bid for Chrome. It was
Crazy.
unsolicited, so it was like they haven't been, well, publicly, we don't, that means they haven't been in discussions about it. I think Google has said previously that they don't have any intentions to sell Chrome at this point. But yeah, it's just like I don't know why they threw it out there. Well, I have some ideas of why they did, right? So Perplexity, like this is even more than their own, like they don't have this much money. to
No,
be
their valuation is I think 16 billion.
yeah. And so it's like, is it only 16 billion?
I think so.
Wow. I feel like they're falling behind. Like what were we talking about like, a couple of weeks ago? Like Anthropic's valuation was like in the hundreds,
I don't know.
something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So it's like more than their valuation. No idea where they get the money or funding from. And they already have their own browser. I've never used it. But yeah, so interesting move, I guess. There's a strategy behind it. Doesn't come to mind what it actually is. But yeah, this is was kind of in the news of like, oh, Perplexity wants to buy Chrome. But I don't think Google will do it at all. Not for
Yeah.
it's too big.
Anthropic's valuation is 61 billion.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I knew it was almost pretty high.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because now that as you're reading it, I totally mixed up Perplexity with Anthropic for some reason. And that just goes to show to emphasize your point of, what's going on with Perplexity. Like maybe it's not keeping up with its competitors, right?
Yeah, I feel like it came in, like last
Because of the
year.
rabbit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But last year, like, came in, it was coming out hot and heavy. And it's like, that's the only thing people were talking about. Like, this was like Google's biggest concern was Perplexity and their new search thing. But I feel like it's kind of died down, meaning, like, I don't see a lot of news on Perplexity per se.
Okay.
It's more focused on Anthropic at this point.
And
Um,
Claude is
and yeah, Claude is
their product.
their product. But yeah, so we'll see. I feel like they becoming a minor player now,
Yeah.
which is expected, right? With all these AI companies, 90% of them will go away no matter how hot they were. But we'll see.
Well, then here's the play. Perplexity was hot because they released that R2 Rabbit device that was very similar to the Humane AI pin.
That wasn't Perplexity.
That wasn't?
No, it was
Who
some
was
other
that?
startup.
No. It was Perplexity.
No.
It was powered by Perplexity, right?
Yeah, it was powered, but it wasn't,
Yeah.
but it was a startup.
Uses Perplexity AI search engine.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's restart that.
yeah. I was wondering why you brought up Rabbit. It's like, what? What about Rabbit?
And so if you remember, Perplexity, well, to your point, was hot last year because it was powering the Rabbit R1 device that was very similar to the Humane AI pin. I think at least for me, that's what I was like, oh, this new cool device and Perplexity is the AI engine on it. That's going to create a lot of buzz around the company. But since then, it's kind of fallen flat, I think. And maybe that's because the device doesn't really get talked about anymore. Maybe that's because they don't have something out there that's being adopted by the mainstream.
Their whole thing was a new, like, kind of a new way to search, right?
Yeah.
That was what their product focused on. What was search,
But I feel like OpenAI is like solved that.
right? So that was the area of AI where the problem they were trying to solve was make search better, right? But I think the problem is like obviously Google was not standing still to this day. Now we're back to like AI mode and AI overviews, still in search, which has just come a long way over the past year, which I think makes it less useful with the way Perplexity was kind of like positioning how their search was different, right? But anyways, so there you go. They made an offer. Maybe it's a last ditch thing of trying to do something or get back into the limelight.
Yeah, perhaps. And then what I was going to say is maybe the play then is that they actually do sell to Apple.
That
Same
could be
time, like
possible.
35 billion to buy Chrome. I feel like that's a lot of investment. You can just build your own browser with that and spend a ton of marketing, to get that browser adopted.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think that money is just buying the inherent user base, right? Because
Yeah.
just because they buy Chrome doesn't mean people stop using Chrome.
Right.
They're basically buying an install base of like 1 billion users.
Yeah.
I
True.
just threw out 1 billion. I don't know if that's really a number, but it's a significant user base that uses Chrome. So I think that's what they would be buying is the user base, and then they plug in their search engine behind. how Google does it today. And there you go. I think that's what the intention. It's not the technology or
Yeah.
browser, because I mean their current browser comment is built on Chromium, which is the base of Chrome. I
See.
think it's more just to buy the people.
I just asked Perplexity how many users does Google Chrome have, and it
Okay.
said 3.45 billion
Okay,
as
so
of
I was
2025.
underrepresented.
And
Uh,
60 represents about 65% of the worldwide browser share.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing about this bid too is there's a comment in this article that DuckDuckGo's CEO previously suggested that Chrome is at least $50 billion of value.
Yeah.
So,
I
all
mean,
right.
totally.
Well, it's an interesting, very public bid, an attempt by Perplexity
Hmm.
to get themselves ahead. But yeah, I think it's not going to go anywhere either. And
Maybe this is the last time we talk about Perplexity because they just kind of like go into the sunset
or go into Apple land.
or get acquired. Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly, like that's probably the best move I would think
Yeah, that's what I
for
think too.
them.
Yeah, I think at this point, right, it's you kind of know who are the leaders in the pack and then who kind of will fall by the wayside. And when that happens, you look to get acquired. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were bought by somebody, maybe Apple,
Yeah.
because Apple has no interest at the moment, right? Amazon's already all in Anthropic. I think Meta is what Scale AI at this point, right? And Google just has Google. So we'll see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
All right. Next news topic is about UnitedHealthcare.
Yeah,
UnitedHealthcare. How much did it pop this week?
it's like 5%. It was like around 300.
No,
I think the
more than 9%.
yeah, but that's about 300. So,
Yeah, which is the largest single day gain for UnitedHealthcare since November 4th of 2020.
but I mean,
So,
it's
hmm,
relatively speaking, right? It's down
yeah.
bigly, and so being up 9% is like nothing.
Hey, up 9% is up
I know
9%.
there's a lot of UNH bulls out there, guys. I
I'll
believe
take
in
up
it.
10% on any stock any day
That's true.
in
That's
one
true.
day.
That's true.
But the reason why UnitedHealthcare popped so much is because two prominent investors invested in the company. One was Warren Buffett. We've been talking about Warren Buffett over the last year and how Berkshire Hathaway has been creating a stockpile of money, right, on the side. And this made news as one of his kind of more biggest buys in the last couple years here. United Healthcare, as you say, has been down pretty bigly over the last year. I think down like what, 40, 50%.
Some huge number.
They are still the biggest healthcare company in the US, but they've been going through a lot of turmoil. You know, that was this United Healthcare CEO, right, was shot and killed. There's been a lot of lawsuits and other things going on with United Healthcare, a lot of
Hmm.
polarizing stories and how, they deny care and there's a lot going on. So that's why the stock's been pummeled.
Yeah,
But
and the Medicare cuts,
mhm,
which is a large part of UNH's business. As
mhm,
everybody knows, right, the Trump administration is looking to cut that by billions and billions of dollars. So we have less healthcare, and so less healthcare means UNH has less money coming in. So that's the other big
yeah.
driver of the downturn.
So lots of FUD news going on with UNH, which is why it was down. But now is a time where Warren Buffett thinks it's at a value that's worth buying. And if you think about it, it does make sense. I mean, we're about to hit a year of Trump's term. In 3 years, depending on who gets elected in the office, there could be more changes with healthcare, right? Which might make the stocks kind of go back up to all-time highs. So it's a good play. And the other person that bought in was Michael Burry. Michael Burry is famous because he is a big short. He's known for shorting the
I feel like
market
that's the
and
I feel like that's the only thing he has going for him at this point. Yes, he made billions on, a great play. And then after that, it's just been like meh.
After that, he's still just enjoying his billions.
Yeah, he's just, he'll like clear out all his, Twitter posts so nobody can go back and say, "Oh, you were wrong again," right? But he's been perpetually bearish a lot this past year, and it hasn't played out. And
Yeah.
apparently now he's semi bullish on certain things. But yeah, so Burry bought a little bit. I think Berkshire's, what was it, like 5.5 billion in UNH.
1.6 billion.
Was it 1.6?
Yeah,
Or was it
5 million
5?
shares.
5 million shares. Okay, that's weird, that number. But yeah, so I mean, 1 billion, it's still, I feel like that's still a small, like, what is their market cap at this point?
Oh,
Market cap is
big.
275 billion. So
Yeah.
a billion, okay, it's a relatively big stake, but it's still pretty small compared to how much, like, if you look at Berkshire's past Apple stake, right? Which is like
Yeah.
humongous.
Well, so UnitedHealthcare is now their 18th largest position behind Amazon, behind Constellation Brands, which makes a lot of beers and drinks. And so, yeah, it's lower on the list. They cut their position again in Apple, which they have been doing for the last couple of years here. But yeah, I think it is small compared to their other holdings. But at the same time, like Berkshire Hathaway doesn't buy things that, generally don't have good value. And so, as for myself, I'm not buying into it. I actually, I don't know. Lately, I've been, never mind. I won't go there. Restart. I'm not buying it. I'm not a fan of UnitedHealthcare in general, and just all the stuff that I've heard about them. So I can't support that.
Yeah.
There's other healthcare companies or other healthcare sector stocks that I could get.
Yeah, I'm not interested in it. It's like what you see around FinTwit, right? Is like, oh, it's down so much. It's like the biggest Medicare, medical health insurance company. It's like, it's the only way for this is to go up, right? But I'm still a bit traumatized because of TDD. And so I'm like, when something drops this big, doesn't mean it can't drop more. And then if you're looking at like 5 years, maybe it'll go back, to 25% of where it was. It's like, it's not. With all the other hot companies out right now, or even like Mag 7, right? It's just like there's better places to put your money that will probably likely grow faster in a shorter period of time, right? So I think a lot of people miss that. All this
But
of like,
also, Berkshire is not a short-term thinker.
right, they're super long term. We're talking like decades long term, right? And so it's just like, it's the same thing with Intel, right? People are like, oh, this is like Intel is so cheap. Several years ago, it's so cheap. You have to buy it. And then it's been sitting in this $20 range for a decade. And people who bought it are just basically break even, right? Same thing. It's been dead money. So
Why are you still in Lucid?
yeah, at this point, Lucid
Just
only
need
serves as
cut it, Tony. Cut it and put it in something
no.
else.
At this point, Lucid only serves as an offset to any gains. Still hopeful because of their version of the robotaxi news. So we'll see. Hopes and dreams.
Some other notable investments that were also part of this news that came out around Warren Buffett is he started investing into the real estate market again.
Oh yeah, that's right. He went
D.R.
heavy.
Horton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's thinking that now is the time that homes are going to come back on the rise.
Yeah.
Which is good for real estate that we've been all waiting for to come back.
Yeah. So yeah, he bought several different companies in the housing space. And so for those who can't tie it or don't think, so what he's anticipating is longer term, right? The Fed will drop rates is basically what that means, right?
For sure.
So rates go down, mortgages go down.
They're definitely not going to increase rates long term.
Well, I mean, keep them where they are at, over the next year or two, right? So he's anticipating the Fed will start to now bring down rates versus keeping them where they are. Well, no, to be fair, Fed has said they might increase rates. If tariffs are not really a one-time thing, right, and they do push up inflation, the Fed might actually need to increase rates, right? That's what they do.
Yeah.
Right. And so we don't know. They anticipate it's only a off thing, transient, but nobody actually knows, right?
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah. So I wouldn't, maybe it's a 1%. Actually, I should go.
I'm the optimist.
I should go look at these betting markets to see if anybody has something where the Fed
Well,
increases
actually,
rates.
I did see something come out from what's the betting market that made it's based off of blockchain, I think.
I can't believe I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah. Here. Block
Starts with a
Polymarket.
yeah. Starts
Actually, Polymarket, I saw something come out recently where Polymarket was betting. It was around a recession, and basically the bets on Polymarket are, for the most part, people don't think there's going to be a recession anymore. And it's dropped heavily. So, in that respect, related to what you were saying, yeah, I think the economy it's time to turn around the economy in terms of all these rates and everything.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm always torn, right? Because markets are all-time high. And it's like, yeah, of course. The economy is doing well, right? Because markets are all-time highs, but that's not necessarily the case. Markets do what markets do, irrespective of the economy. We'll see. Like, I still don't know why we're at all-time highs.
We need a pullback. It's going to come soon.
Yeah.
So buckle up, because and you were saying, yeah, stocks can still go down. I do think TTD can still go down. Yes, UnitedHealthcare can still go down. And when this pullback comes soon, everything will go down.
Yeah.
So have some money ready.
Buy the dips. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. We're at 34. So I think we can skip the iPhone story.
We can talk about iPhone next week. I'm sure there'll be more things about it next week, but okay.
But interesting things going on. I just wanted to acknowledge the Putin-Trump meeting, and we'll see what comes from that in the next week. But I think it was a step forward in just trying to end that 3-year war. Man, every time I hear about the war in Russia, I'm like, it's been going on for 3 years, almost 4 years. That's crazy. But we'll see. We'll talk next week.
Yeah.